Hello everyone, welcome back to part 3 of the breast cancer awareness poncho. This is where we ended yesterday. Now if you do not want to add on the neck portion, that's perfectly fine. You can stop right here and it's good to go. Okay, but if you do want to add that neck portion to it, stay with me and we will get started in a moment. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out on any new tutorials that I upload or any of my travel and food adventures. Okay, if you're a returning subscriber, I want to thank you again for your support. Continue to support me. I appreciate all the support. Share with friends and family. Hit that like button if you like this tutorial. Leave me a comment and any suggestions you have. I do appreciate that very much. Once again, you're going to need a pair of scissors, your 5.5mm hook, a darning needle to sew in your loose ends. Okay. In the description box below, I have added the link to my shop. If you just want to purchase this one, I will have it in the shop and a few others that I'm going to be adding that are not linked to the breast cancer awareness. If you're just starting the tutorial and you hit this one first, in the description box as well, I do have a link to part 1 and part 2. So go ahead and begin there and you will love this. Share it with friends and family. This is a 3-day project. Day 1 is the beginning of the main poncho. As of day 2 is the fringes, which we added yesterday. And today we're going to go ahead and work on the neck portion of it. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around so we can get started. Stay with me. All right, so to get started, this is the neck portion. This is the front and the back is here where you began originally. You should have a loose end there where you began. So we're going to be working in this. We're going to start here and work in the cluster loops. So where we have the 3 puff stitch cluster is where we're going to be working. We will be putting 3 clusters here of puff stitches, and in the space adjacent we're going to be putting a single crochet. So let me show you how that works. So get your yarn and we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into this space. Chain 1. The chain 1 is of no consequence. It's just to give us a level up for the puff stitch. So we're going to work 3 puff stitches with chain 2 spaces in this space here. So work your first puff stitch. Your puff stitch is 3, pull through 6 and then pull through 2. Chain 2. To work your puff stitch, yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go into the same space, pull through, yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull through 3. You should have 7 stitches and you're going to pull through the first 6, pull through the next 2 and then chain 2. Repeat 1 more puff stitch into this space and then chain 1. This is your puff stitch cluster with the chain 2 in between. You are going to skip these 2 double crochets, and in the chain 1 space we're going to put a single crochet and then move on to the next, skip the next 2 double crochets, and in this space we're going to put a puff stitch cluster. So we're going to work 3 puff stitches with 2 chains in between. Chain 2 and then 1 more puff stitch. And this is your repeat pattern for the rest of the row. Skip your 2 double crochets in the chain 1 space. We're putting a single crochet. Skip 2 more double crochets and work a puff stitch cluster with chain 2s in between. I know for the rest of the poncho we worked puff stitches with chain 1 in between, but for the neck portion we will be chaining 2. Chain 1, put a single crochet, skip 2 double crochets and work a puff stitch cluster. Don't forget to chain 2 in between each of the puff stitches. Chain 1, skip 2 double crochets, work a single crochet in the chain 1 space. And this is your repeat pattern for the rest of the row. So let's go ahead and work that. Puff stitch clusters, chain 2 in between each of the puff stitches. Skip 2 double crochets, work a single crochet. Work your puff stitch clusters. Put a single crochet, skip 2 double crochets. So for this row you should have a set of 12 puff stitch clusters and 12 single crochets. Do not lose count of these, otherwise your work will tunnel up like a pyramid and you don't want that. You want a tube, so you should have a cluster. You should have 12 clusters of puff stitches and 12 single crochets at the end of this round. My lighting is not very good. I apologize for that. The sun is setting and it's hitting my window, so it's messing up with the lighting. I should have begun this earlier. I hope this is not affecting what I'm trying to show you here. So let's go ahead and finish this round and I'll show you what we're going to do in round 2. This is a 2-row repeat, this being the first row. So we're at the end of our round. You're back to your puff stitch cluster. So once you finished your single crochet here, we're going to slip stitch at the top of the puff stitch. Chain 1 and turn your work around. Make sure you have ample room to work. This is a big poncho. So the chain 1 does not count for anything. This is just to give us a level up. In that chain, in that single crochet stitch right here, we're going to work a double crochet. Yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's your double crochet. And then we're going to go into the chain 2 space of the first puff stitch set. Put a single crochet, chain 4, into the chain 2 space of the next puff stitch, you're going to put a single crochet. So you start with a double crochet, a single crochet, chain 4, single crochet, and in the single crochet stitch from the previous row, we're going to work a double crochet. And then move on to this puff stitch cluster, work a single crochet in the chain 2 space, chain 4, and then a single crochet in the next 2 spaces. And then we're going to move on to the single crochet and work a double crochet in the single crochet. Move to this chain 2 space. So between the clusters, we're going to be having a single crochet, chain 4, single crochet. Okay, single crochet, chain 4, single crochet, and then in the single crochet, we are working a double crochet. And this is your repeat for the rest of the row. Okay, once more. You're working a double crochet in the single crochet from the row below, working a single crochet in the chain 2 space, chaining 4, skip 1 puff stitch, work a double crochet in the chain 2 space, and then a double crochet, I'm sorry, a single crochet right there, and then a double crochet in the single crochet from below. And this is your repeat. So you have a 2-row repeat for the rest of your project until you finish your neck portion. You're going to have the puff stitch row where you have 3 puff stitches with 2 chains in between each, a single crochet, a cluster of puff stitches, a single crochet. And then the next row you have the double crochet, single crochet, chain 4, single crochet, double crochet, and this is the row we are on. So this is your repeat. So let's go ahead and work this to the end of your row. Okay, we're at the end of the row. So after your single crochet there, we're going to slip stitch at the top of our double crochet at the beginning, which is right there. So go under those 2, slip stitch, and you close that, chain 1. We're going to turn your work around. Remember, we're working back and forth, unlike the body of the poncho where we worked in the round. We're going to be working back and forth for this one. So chain 1, and on top of your double crochet, you're going to put a single crochet, and then we're going to begin the puff stitch clusters again. So this is as simple as it is. So you're working clusters, chain 2 in between, puff stitch, chain 2, puff stitch. So 3 puff stitches with 2 chains in between each, chain 1. This is just to close that puff stitch. You don't want to chain 2 at the end of your puff cluster. And then on top of your double crochet, we're going to put a single crochet, and then work again a cluster. So this is your repeat pattern for the rest of the neck portion. You're going to need to work a total of 15 rows. So we're working 15 rows of the 2-row repeat pattern. So let's work this and see where we get at the end of the 15th row, and then I'll show you how to close it up and complete your poncho. We're back to single crochet, chain 4, single crochet, and a double crochet. That is your repeat pattern for this row. This is a 2-row repeat, so we have 15 rows to work with, and that should conclude it, and then I'll show you how to close it. So let's complete this and we will work on closing it. If 15 rows proves to be too tall for you and you want to reduce it, you can reduce it by 5 and just do 10 instead of 15. All right, so as long as you finished all your 15 rows, to close it off, you're going to go ahead and slip stitch. I ended up on a puff stitch row, which is what you should end up on. Go ahead and slip stitch and pull through. And then we're just going to cut the yarn and stitch in the loose end, which is going to be a pretty simple thing to do. So get your darning needle, pull that through, get your darning needle, thread it, and turn your work. Go into that single crochet stitch and pull the thread through, and then turn it sideways. Go in under your single crochet stitch and get to the puff stitches, and then go ahead and thread this through back and forth at least 3 times, and this will secure it just like that. And that way when you wash your poncho, none of this will come loose. Okay, and that secures it tightly. And that's the end of your poncho. So go ahead and share with me when you're done with yours. I have a Facebook fan page, African Crab Crochets. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Pinterest, I'm on X. So if you look through the description box below, you'll see all the links to my social media as well as to my shop. If you just want to buy this poncho because you can't make your own, or you want to see what it looks like, or you have someone you want to give it to, the link to my shop is also in the description box. Thank you so much for joining me in working on this poncho. Please share with me your finished products and have a great evening. For the new subscribers, once again, you are very welcome. Hit that subscribe button and I will see you in my next video.